Okay, great. So when we were just mentioning about the strengths for job interviews, these are some of the things that you guys can use. Okay. So I think you guys can take some time to write down 3 of these strengths that you think you have. So I think it's a good practice for the common interview questions if you choose 3. Okay, so what is flexibility? So let me tell you about each. Okay, flexibility. Flexibility, it means that you're able to change or adapt to this environment. So if you're very flexible, it means like, oh, if today I tell you that, hey, let's hang out tomorrow, right? And then tomorrow I say, oh, sorry, like I can't make it. Can you change to this afternoon instead of the morning? And then if you're very flexible, then you're like, oh yeah, sure, like you can keep on changing. There's no problem. Okay. Dedication. So means that you're very dedicated and you put all your time and effort into doing this. Okay. So maybe if I want someone who I need to finish this job and very dedicated, maybe you put a lot of time and effort to do it. To have a positive attitude, right? So the same thing about attitude. So you're always looking on the bright side, right? If it's raining, maybe you say, it's okay, I love the rain. Or it's been too hot recently. I think the rain helps to cool it down. But people usually don't like rainy days. So it's having a positive attitude. Creativity. Creativity means that you're someone who comes up with new ideas. You can think of some new ideas. Okay, leadership, we already talked about. Determination. So if you're determined to do something, nothing will get in your way, right? Like, I want to do this. I want to finish this job. I'm going to think about if there's going to be some problems. I'm going to think about solutions. Not a problem. That's determination. Okay. A hard skill. So I guess here a hard skill, it could be something, if you're an engineer, you can say like all the different languages I know, being an engineer. Okay. Organization. So having organizational skills, same thing. It could also include some time management skills or different skills you need when you're organized. You know where things are, right? On your desk. Your books are here. Maybe you put everything away nicely and you know where things are. Okay. Empathy. So if you have empathy, it means that you can really think in others' shoes, right? Think for others. Okay. Learning is something that's also very important. If it is a very fast-paced environment you're working in, it means like maybe in a startup, smaller companies, maybe you're in tech company, everything, the trends are, newest trends are always changing. So you're always learning new things. Okay. So you can think about 3 to write down, I think would be a good idea. Okay. So I give you guys a couple minutes to write it down. Okay. And you can even tell me in the chat, it's okay. Okay, so let me know if you don't know about a certain word, you want me to explain it again. It's also good. Great. Okay, so some of you shared, yes, it's very important to have leadership skills. Leadership skills is one that's really good. And also to have positive attitude. Okay. So here are some more useful information, useful expressions here. Okay, I believe that my experience in the field can make me a valuable asset to your company. Okay, so you can say this at the very end of your introduction. I believe that my experience in the field can make me a valuable asset to your company. Quite important. Okay, so here I have divided you guys up into groups, but I know that some people are not here, so I'm going to be changing the groups a little. So here, use useful expressions to practice with your group. So I'm going to ask you guys to divide up. I'll divide the groups here in the break room and then allow you to practice. And then I'll go into each room to help you.
Me?
Please share.
Let me introduce good morning. I'm excited to introduce myself. The reason why I chose this company is that I love your products. So my main strengths are dedication, creativity, and empathy. So first, dedication. When working on a team project, even if I do more, I take on the role. And second, creativity. I like to coming up with an innovative idea. Third, empathy. I think team projects important thing is cooperation. So I trying to hear some others' opinion, and so I try to empathy. I believe that my experience in the field can make me a valuable asset to your company.
Okay, wonderful. Great job, you guys. So I was here to help out some of you with your practice, and I think everyone did a great job. So good job. And let's continue with these dialogue practice. Okay. So here I would like Park to be James and Lee to be Mark Smith. Okay. So can you guys please read us the dialogue? Yes, Park and Lee.
Good afternoon. My name is James Johnson.
Lee, can you be Mark Smith?
James, nice to have you here. I'm Mark. Smith, please make yourself comfortable. If you're ready, we can start with the interview. So why do you want to work for this company?
I know that your company is currently working on expanding its international market, which is in line with my qualification. Also, I find your latest campaign very interesting. Those would be the main reasons I would like to join you.
Why should we hear you?
I believe that my 5 years experience in international sales can make me a valuable asset to your company.
Very well. Now what would you say are your main strengths?
I have always been a great team player. I'm also highly motivated and communicative.
And what about your weaknesses?
Well, sometimes I spend a bit too much time checking my own work. I like to make sure that everything is perfect.
Okay, James, thank you very much for your time. We will count you in a few days.
Okay, great job, you guys. Wonderful. Okay, so here I just want to point out this is hire. Why should we hire you? Hire you. So it's high, right? Not here. Here is here. Like when you hear something. Okay, so this is hire. Why should we hire you? Okay, great. So let's move on to the common interview questions I want to talk about. We're going to practice a couple of them today. Okay, so very, very similar. We have tell me about yourself. So here, instead of saying, let me introduce yourself, okay, that's what I would say if I'm at the interview. And if I am the interviewer, so if I'm the company, then I will say, tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself. So how do you answer this question? Okay, so here are some tips. Talk about where you are now. And then you can discuss how you got to where you are. And then you could share about your goals for the future. Okay, so a little bit talking about the present, and then the past, and then the future. So this is kind of like a formula. Okay, so it's talking about, so here, talk about where you are now, right? Is right now you are what? Present. And then discuss how you got there is the process, right? How you got there. And then talk about the future. So this is something that you can think about. Okay, so what does it mean by talk about where you are now? So here, what you can do is mention what you are doing now. What does that mean? Which could include your current job along with a reference to a personal hobby or passion. Okay, so think about what currently you are doing. It could be a job. It could be something you have done. Maybe you like hiking. Okay, it could be a personal hobby or passion. Maybe you love to read. Okay, so talking about the past. So before, share relevant experiences to the role. Here you could mention education or an important experience such as a past job, internship, or volunteer experience. So here, see, a little key point is that you don't really have to talk about your job. This experience, it could be something that happened in school. It could be an internship, or even not something you get money from, a volunteer work. And then you can talk about the future. So what would you talk about the future is to discuss how you will contribute to the team with these experiences that you have gotten from the past. So it's actually a key here is to tie your answer to your job. So So here the key is to tie your answer to the job, and that you can make make it relative or make it related to your job. Okay, so same thing about why the interviewer should care about you, right? Again, so another question we ask yourself, how you are the best fit for the job. Job or the company, same thing. Okay. And talk a little bit about that. Okay. So here, let's look at an example. Okay, so could you tell me a bit about yourself? Well, this is also another question that may be asked. It's the same, looking for the same thing. The simplest way is talking about present, past, future formula. Okay, I am in charge of, I am responsible for, I handle, I deal with, I manage, I have. Okay, so these are all present. Okay, I'm currently an account executive at X company where I handle the top performing client. In my current position, I manage a team of 5 people. My team includes, or my department is responsible for managing. Okay, that is present, what I'm doing right now. Okay, my current job. The past. Before that, I worked as in the past, where I was in charge of something. I successfully managed, it could be a project. I have spent the last 7 years developing my skills. I have spent the last 2 years, right? It's not going to be so long for you guys. I have been promoted twice. Okay, talking about an achievement. From maybe specialist to manager to head of the department, maybe that is what happened. So to get promoted. Okay, talking about future. I believe this experience has prepared me for, and then maybe you can even talk about something about the company now. To take the next step and pursue a management position. Okay, maybe you want to be a manager now from a specialist. Maybe you're very familiar with your job and what others are doing. So you want to be maybe a marketing manager. Although I love my current role, I feel ready to move to a more challenging position, right? To persuade that you're up for this role. Maybe you want to also share about how you would be a good leader. All right. So we talk about the past, and then here in this experience, it's going to help you to be a better fit for this position. Okay, for what you want to be in the future. Maybe it could be a different company. It could also be in the same company, but a different position. Maybe it could be a different department or same department, but you want to be promoted as well. These are also things, this is a good formula for you to use if you would also like to have a promotion. So this is really important. Present, past, future formula. Okay, so here are some other things that maybe you can talk about. You can also discuss a job relevant strength and use this past. You can also use this formula somehow. So here, for example, I really enjoy doing crosswords, Sudoku, and word puzzles. I like the mental challenge and problem solving involved in these activities. Okay, So what are crosswords? I hope you guys know. So usually there's like these little boxes, and then you will just put in the letters here. So then maybe this word is cross, right? So you want to put it here into the word box. And then here, this word could be train, right? So then this is a crossword. Okay. And then we can also discuss a personal quality. For example, I work hard at achieving goals I set for myself. At the start of this year, I began running and training for my first half marathon, which I completed 2 months ago. Okay, so this is talking about goal setting. You set a goal and you try to achieve it. You can also discuss a group of organization you belong to. Okay, so we can talk about volunteer work. We can talk about anything that maybe you're passionate about and you enjoy. So I belong to a local group that organizes beach cleanups on weekends. It's a great way of reducing coastal litter while increasing awareness of marine pollution. I think this is a good one to say if you are interviewing for a company that cares a lot about the environment. It could be a company who maybe sells vegan products. It could be a company maybe they sell clothing that are used by maybe recycled goods or different things like that. So think of the connection of why you say this, right? Because maybe things you are doing now is related to the company, and the company would love someone like you because you are doing something right now that fits their core values. Okay, so for me, I could also say, oh, right now I belong to a local group that leads local tours about Taipei. Okay, so we have a tour called free walking tour. It's called Tour Me Away. So this is an organization that has a lot of volunteers to introduce Taiwan's culture to foreigners or travelers from around the world. So what I can say about this is that I enjoy sharing about Taiwan's culture in a fun way to incorporate storytelling and to show foreigners that Taiwan has a lot to offer, or Taiwan has wonderful scenery and yummy food that foreigners or travelers would enjoy. Okay, so that's something that I could say if maybe I am interviewing for a tourism company. That's what something maybe they would want. Okay, we can also discuss a hobby or interest. So my example here is my hobby is street photography. It's challenging as it requires patience and persistence. So these could be some strengths that you want to talk about, but also very rewarding. Good street photos help you to find meaning in ordinary moments and think about things differently. So in a different perspective. Okay. So very interesting for this. Okay, great. So before I move on to the next part, I think we can take a 10-minute break and then come back, and then I'll continue with these questions. Okay, great.